Here's a little disclaimer. I'm not into the games like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you sit in front of a monitor or some shit and keep flipping lights until, some stupid ass animatronic creature holds a knife in my face. It's just not my thing. I do like horror games like Dead Space, Condemned 2, Silent Hill, Clock Tower 3, Sonic 06. What? You don't think Sonic 06 is a horror game? Have you frickin' played it? It's horrifying. Speaking of horrifying, if you're into board games, you should totally check out Horrified. Cool co-op game where you have to hunt down the Universal monsters. I may actually do a bit of an extra on that, but we'll see. I am going far off track. Where was I? Oh yeah, horror games and my dislike for the FNAF series. Truthfully, I never played them, but I saw a few videos of the gameplay and thought, pass. But one of my friends told me I needed to play Welcome to the Game since I mentioned that I didn't jump often when it comes to scary games. I didn't know it was going to be another game in a similar vein as FNAF, but that's okay because as I started playing it, I noticed that it created a whole new level of atmospheric horror, and it was freaking terrifying. The goal and story of the game is simple. You play as yourself, and you're accessing the dark web to try and hunt down a red room. According to the game, a red room is a dark web page that allows you to interact with a live murder. Sounds crazy to me. I still have yet to complete the game, so I don't know how detailed the ending is in this aspect. But if the rest of the game is anything to go by, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a gruesome scene waiting for me at the end. But here's the deal. In order to access the Red Room, you have to find the encrypted website hidden in various sites on the dark web. At first, you get access to about 20 websites, shown in a simple list. Your goal is to check these sites out and scour them for clues that may lead to a piece of the Red Room website. Each piece, or key, will give you a 4-character piece of the URL, along with a number. Once you get all of the required pieces of the URL, you need to type them all in order in your special browser, and you win. Of course, things aren't going to be easy. Out of the websites you access, many of them are only available at specific times. Some are never able to be opened, and the keys are, for the most part, placed randomly, so every time you play, it's essentially a completely different puzzle. There are also other puzzles on 2 websites that need to be completed to get other sets of websites as well. So all in all, you're going to have to scour about 6 dozen websites to find all of those keys. And they are well hidden. Some may be shown right on the front page, and others may require you to click around for a little while. And being that this is the dark web, there is some weird shit on a lot of these pages. One is a tutorial on how to make cuts of meat off of human corpses. One is a site to view hidden webcams. Of course, there is a site that puts out hits on people for the right amount of money. Drugs are sold, as are women. And not to be outdone, there's a site where a grandmother journals herself getting freaky with the pizza guy. It's seriously effed up. In order to get to the other sites, there are some clicking puzzles that need to be completed. The first is called Chosen Awake, and at first it may seem like it's just a bunch of shapes. What you actually have are sets of shapes in which one of them activates the next line. First, you keep clicking the circles on the top of the page until you hear a ding. That's a sign that you completed the first line. You then go to the next set of symbols and figure out what makes that same ding. The trick is that if you mess up and click the wrong one, anywhere on the page, you have to start the whole puzzle over. Thankfully, the correct combination is always the same, but it will take some trial and error to get the correct group down. Maybe keep some actual pen and paper next to you when doing this for an easier time. It's what I did with the codes themselves, even though you do get a digital notepad to type them. The thing is that once you get to the second set of web pages, make sure you save this link. If you don't and you back up too much, you'll need to do the Chosen Awake puzzle again. When I first played the game and I didn't know that, I hit the back button too many times and realized that I lost that entire second set of sites. I think I got a game over soon after, but it still sucked. Speaking of game over, how do you get it? There are several ways, 3 to be exact. Well, 3 losing ways and 1 winning option, unless you count the 2 secret endings. Okay, so 3 winning and 3 losing. I never won the game, so I can't talk about that. As for losing, well, first you have a time limit. Up on the top right of the PC menu is a number, which denotes how many days have passed. You only have 30 days to find the Red Room. If you cannot, I don't know, they close it down? It's the only bit of sense I can make of it. Secondly, there are two human entities that are both out to get you. One is a kidnapper, and one is a serial killer known as a breather. Both these guys are reasons to wear headphones while playing, as you need to be very aware of your surroundings. You'll hear various noises throughout your place, and many times you're going to want to right-click to disengage from the screen and take a quick look around. The serial killer will call your cell phone repeatedly and simply breathe into the phone. I've heard that if you have a microphone working, it may pick up on words that you are saying and repeat them back to you. That's not creepy or anything. It's said that the killer can only enter throughout the front door, so at times you're going to have to run to the door, and if he's there, barricade it with your body until he gives up. If he sneaks into your house, you'll suddenly spin around your chair, he'll say something, and then it's lights out. This is actually the first time I lost the game, and I legit screamed. If you don't believe me, check out the first stream I did of the game. The other human entity is the kidnappers. If you hear sounds that seem like they're outside, such as leaves crunching, then it means the kidnappers may be around. In order to evade them, all you do is turn out the lights. Seriously, turn them off and sit still for about a minute. Eventually the kidnappers will think you're not home and just leave for the day. I don't really understand how this works, but maybe they just aren't the brightest criminals in the area. I've heard that if you see the GPS location icon pop up on the PC, turn the lights off immediately, as it's the dead giveaway that the kidnappers have locked on you. So those are the 3 ways your game can end. There are some other ways to hinder your progress, and that's in the form of getting hacked. There are once again 3 hacking minigames that require your immediate attention. One forces you to literally type out the string of text that pops up on your screen. One has you click arrows to orient them so that the signal travels from the start to finish without going off track. The last requires you to move squares so that none of them are touching horizontally or vertically. That's all. If you succeed at this, you move on as normal. But if you fail, you lose some of the progress that you had, as in your notepad might get wiped, you lose time replacing your router, and so on. If you feel you're going to be hacked and don't want to risk it, you can manually reset your router. This does take some time to do, but if you feel you may fail the hacking minigame, it will result in less lost time than actually being hacked into. So that's how the game works. You click random websites, you click random areas of these websites, and maybe read the fucked up text on them, and hope you can find a hidden code. I'm sure watching the footage here isn't that exciting, but it's one of those games where it's more exciting just to play it with headphones on and lights out. It is incredibly atmospheric. Sudden noises are made and you'll shudder a bit and need to investigate. Seeing the skull pop up when you get hacked may make you jump, as it's so unexpected. Hearing the phone vibrate gives you chills. Yes, there are jump scares, but for 95% of the game, it's psychological, and that's what makes it enjoyable. And it's all about the risk versus reward. Do you keep defending yourself against hacks, or do you reset your router? If you hear a noise while you're being hacked, which option takes priority? What about the websites? Do you clear the puzzles that allow you to access the second and third sets first, or try hunting for keys from all the other websites? The option is yours, and it's completely up to you on which direction you take. The one thing to keep in mind is that if you do get a game over in any way, you have to start over from the beginning, and everything is randomized. Welcome to the Game is a really entertaining experience, but it's difficult to flat out recommend, and its style doesn't appeal to everyone. If you enjoy games where you spend the majority of your time exploring increasingly disturbing websites and defending yourself against menacing villains, then by all means, spend a few bucks, I think it's 5 to be exact, and check it out. But take it from me, if you want the best experience, play it with headphones and absolutely no light. Pitch black. Otherwise, you're shorting yourself. Final score? 8 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.